happy birthday to the woman who sings my theme song, Fergie. Today, Fergie is 44 and doing it. Also, happy birthday, well, happy 49th birthday to Mariah Carey. You know, Mariah doesn't celebrate birthdays, she celebrates anniversaries. Another woman in denial of getting older. Mariah, you look great. Look, she says that she's eternally 12. So, aren't we all in some way? And speaking of Mariah, she announced that she's writing her memoir. For those of you who still read books, I love books. I told you I don't have the Kindle, I don't like any of that jazz, I like a book. Well, you know what? This could be a big, big deal. A lot of times people complain because people write their memoirs when their career is still happening as opposed to waiting until they're 70 and have a full body of life to write about. Well, 49 is pretty much a full body of life. And I think things are done differently these days. Like, you know, if you're 70 or 80 years old and you're writing your memoir, I am the type of person as a reader, I would prefer if you wrote it while you still had a piece of your career so that I can learn stuff from you and still watch you flourish after reading, you know, the book. A book for somebody in their 20s, not so much. Even though in your 20s, you know, we all lived a full life in our 20s, but I don't care about that life as a reader. You know, I don't care about what you did in college and you know, your one-night stands and things like that. In your 30s, you're making a life for yourself, but there's still not enough life. Even though I know you've lived, there's still not enough life. 49, I think, is pretty, 49, a couple of marriages. You know, she's got her kids. Remember, she did all the pop music, and then all of a sudden, you know, she got down with rap music and R&B culture. And this is one I want to hear about. And by the way, I don't think that we're going to read the truth in this book. But it'll be interesting to see how she dances around the truth. For instance, you know, before, I don't care about anything before she married Tommy Mottola, except for maybe, you know, that's her first husband, the bigwig. I don't care about anything as far as that, except for, before marriage, except for her relationship with her brother and her sister. Because at one point, I thought they all got along really well. Her sister has been ill since forever. The word was that Mariah was giving money and visiting the sister, and they had a real sisterly relationship. But then the sister allegedly was using the money that Mariah was giving her for bad, not good. And Mariah allegedly had to end up pulling back and not giving her money anymore, because if somebody doesn't want to help themselves and you're still giving them money, it's doing nothing but feeding the bad. And Mariah's mother, the opera singer, she too feels helpless. Like, what do you do for somebody who doesn't want to help themselves? And then the brother was on Mariah's side at one point, but now the brother is alleged to be down with the sister. So I want to hear a little about that. And I would also like to hear then, fast forward, was Mariah ever unfaithful to Tommy Mottola? Now, this is during the Radio Wendy years. And so I know a lot. So for me to read the book and compare what she writes as opposed to what really happened, to me, it's very entertaining. I would like to know, after she left Tommy Mottola, how many people, you know, the dating life. Not how many people she slept with, because a date doesn't mean you sleep with somebody, but, you know, what was going on late night at the studio with you and DJ Clue and you know, the various ones. How close were you to Mary J. Blige and Little Kim and those girls during that era? And I want to hear that. Do I want to hear about the new boyfriend? No, because we're seeing that part play out. We're seeing that part play out. I would love to know what you really think about Stella, your old manager. I mean, you've said a little salty things, but I want to hear more. So this, clap if this is a book that you would buy. All right. So you should do well. You should be a New York Times bestseller. Jussie Smollett. Well, he's a free man. So, you know. Surprisingly to a lot of people, he was cleared of all 16 felony accounts yesterday. And he was, everything was wiped clear, as if this story never happened. You know, he never went to court for anything other than to tell them, I didn't do this. And so he made a statement. He was taking selfies outside too, with his fans outside after he was found cleared. Well, he made a statement after the hearing. Take a look and then we'll continue talking.
I've been truthful and consistent on every single level since day one. I would not be my mother's son if I was capable of one drop of what I've been accused of. This has been an incredibly difficult time, honestly one of the worst of my entire life.
I'll tell you what, he's the luckiest man in the world for not going to jail. And the FBI is still investigating. Rahm Emanuel, the mayor of Chicago, is absolutely livid. I liked his speech, by the way. And of course, the chief of police is absolutely livid as well. I liked his speech too. So what to say? I mean, they were furious. Take a look.
Do I think justice was served? No. I think this city is still owed an apology. It's Mr. Smollett who committed this hoax, period. If he wanted to clear his name, the way to do that was in a court of law so that everyone could see the evidence. But no, they chose to hide behind secrecy and broker a deal to circumvent the judicial system.
This is without a doubt a whitewash of justice and sends a clear message that if you're in a position of influence and power, you'll get treated one way, other people will be treated another way. There is no accountability then in the system. It is wrong, full stop.
I could look at Rahm Emanuel all day. You know what I mean? Jussie will be judged for the rest of his life. I venture to say, even if he does get acting roles, they're not going to be quality productions. They're just going to throw him in stuff, and he'll be forced to take, I guess, because he'll need money. Just before I came out here, Norman put in my face, like literally, I'm tying up my sneakers, and he came out and told me that the two brothers who have remained quiet, the African brothers, well, their lawyer wants them to speak out. This is all happening right now as we're sitting down preparing for, wait, hold on. The lawyer wants him to speak out. They refuse to speak out, so she quit. This all just happened, just now. Listen, you think that the African brothers were paid off? Yes. Handsomely and heavily? Yes. And somewhere in them, they have information where extortion will be probably, maybe, a part of their storyboard for the rest of their lives. Yes. They've got nothing to lose. Empire airs tonight. If you'll be watching, I'm a New York Housewives girl. Me personally. Yeah, that's me. I like the Housewives. But Empire airs tonight. If you'll be watching, the promo says that one of the lions will be killed off. I do not think it'll be Jussie, not tonight. I think that the Empire people, look, Jussie's thing with the law has definitely benefited you all as far as talking, everybody's talking about you. You're the lead story on everything. No, why kill him off tonight? Keep him around a bit. Will he stay at the show? If I were him, I'd quit. I'll tell you why. I mean, I'd quit, I'd ask for a payout. but I'd quit. Let me just walk away. We're making the staff and the crew and my fellow actors suffer because everybody's divided on the set. Some people don't want to film scenes with him. It's just, it makes for a nasty situation when a nasty situation is going on. Will they fire him? I don't know. And if they fire him, will they fire him like a press conference and he's fired? Or will he, be shot in the streets or something, in an episode of Empire? Well, he's nominated for the NAACP Image Award. That goes on this weekend. And the question is, will he go? My answer is, yeah. Not only will he go, but I'm sure that the NAACP already has a prominent seat front and center for him to sit. I'm sure Jussie already has his outfit planned out. He might do outfit changes for us, honey. And I think that he'll walk the red carpet really slow and deliberate. and he'll want all the attention on him, so he probably won't bring a date. But the only sensible date for him to bring would be his mother. You know, the sympathy vote. Well, Jussie, I would wish you good luck, but it looks like luck is on your side. Congratulations. So, Ariana Grande has new rules for everybody. Pay attention, listen up. Pay attention, listen up. So, her new photo policy is, she's on the Sweetener tour, right? And she's boycotting the media. I don't know who she's talking about. Everybody's the media these days. You. Oh, they're boycotting her? Mm-hmm. So they're not gonna show up?
Exactly.
The lies they tell.
Right.
That's when you kick into action, co-hosts and attenders of the concert. You become the media, and you take the pictures and then sell them. All right, here's the new policy. The photographers can only take pictures for her first 3 songs in a designated area. So they'll have them behind a velvet rope with security, I guess, watching them. The first 3 songs, well, you know what? For every artist, your voice sounds best, I guess, for your first 3 songs. You're not sweating yet. You know what I'm saying? Your costume is still on. It's not, you know, the pin hasn't popped. Her ponytail hasn't slid back. Whatever. They must get Ariana's approval to use the photos. So you can't just take them. You have to take them and then submit them. And I guess that's when they'll Photoshop them or whatever and, you know, make them perfect according to her standards. And the pictures can only be a part of news stories. Everything is a news story these days dealing with pop culture. Jussie is leading every channel today. You know what I mean? Hot Topics, for a lot of people I know, is the only news that they watch. So now, there are 16 outlets boycotting Ariana, including the New York Times and the Associated Press. Well, now these are very, very big, credible publications. Do you see where we've come in life? Back in my day when I was on radio, the Associated Press wouldn't have cared about Ariana Grande. And the New York Times was highbrow back then. Ariana, this is not going to work. And the reason, but she'll be able to get away with it, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because you, her fans, you know, you've lifted her up to such a height that she feels as though anything that she says, you are hypnotized. You are. You're hypnotized into going along with it. And the other people that I blame for her being able to get away with this behavior are the people around her. You know, her team. There's got to be somebody on her team that doesn't just let everything fly, or her mother. And her mother might not be employed by her, but your mother is your mother. And if you respect your mother, or if you're blessed enough to have a mother, when your mother tells you you were acting out of order, you really do sit down and listen to it. And then you cry, and then you say, Mom, you're right. She's had a rough year, though. You know, the Pete Davidson breakup, the death of her ex-boyfriend before that, and, you know, just a whole lot of stuff. There's a lot of pressure on this girl that likes to be carried around by her security. There are two things, though, that are not warranted because she doesn't need them. She is so beautiful. I've never seen a bad picture of her, ever. And she is so talented vocally that even when she gets to her 20th song in her concert, that voice still sounds better than most girls out here. So she really doesn't have to do that. And then her Grande fans are complaining, wow, really? You go against your queen? This is a shocker and perhaps a first. They're going against her because she's charging up to, $75 and more for the concert paraphernalia. Would you look at this crap? I mean, stuff. Thank you next for $75. Excuse me. I do believe I see a blueberry stain or whatever that blue is. Let's see the other shirts. What is that? Now, now down at the bottom, though, it says that it's the Sweetener tour. Would you pay, clap, $75? Okay, one person. One person. Clap if you're going to the concert or if you go. See? Then you're my people. Because if you really love her, then you'd pay, you know, the fortune and get your money together and you'd go to the concert. But if you don't like the t-shirts and paraphernalia, if it's too expensive for you, you don't like the way they look, then just don't buy them. I mean, you can go to the trim shop and make paraphernalia and go. People do it all the time. People have done it here at Wendy. I'm like, hey, where'd you get that? They said, we were up all night making it just to come here and say, like, Wendy on the front, whatever. I love that. I love that. Do you know who Dee Barnes is? Clap if you do. Oh. It's okay. It's okay. Do you recognize her? Yes. Well, no, that's not Robin Quivers. She kind of looks like Robin to me. Anyway, hi, Rob. Okay, Dee Barnes, everybody, is a legendary, and she's legend because of the story that surrounds her, not because of her body of work. She's a legendary hip-hop journalist. Her name is Dee Barnes, and she recently made a shocking revelation of her being homeless. Now, you know I come from radio. Back in 1993, there was a big party going on, and everybody, the who's who was there. This is before black music and white music melded together, and now we're all as one. You know what I mean? There was a time when hip-hop and R&B were over here. You know what I'm saying? Okay, okay. And I was in the thick of things on 98.7 KISS. I was the internet. So... Dee had this very popular show called Pump It Up. Pump It Up was a show geared towards the exposure of urban artists, and it was strictly an urban thing. In 1993, she sued Dr. Dre for $22 million after he assaulted her because he didn't like her interview with him. Okay, the assault happened very publicly at a big giant party going on, at a big giant situation. Everybody was there. People were standing around watching Dre pummel this girl. And I was on the radio just a flapping and a yapping. Well, after this happened, and this is before Dr. Dre was super rich, but he was surrounded by rich people like Jerry Heller and Eazy-E, and you know, they were the bosses of Dre at that particular time. Dee ended up settling out of court. A couple of people in my Hot Topics meeting said, well, that was before Dre had money. She couldn't have gotten much money, you know? And I said, no, I'm sure that somebody that he knew, because Dre is, of course, the genius behind all the production. Nothing moved at Aftermath and whatnot without Dre stamping on it. So she's homeless now. She's about to be homeless, I'm sorry. She put this on social media that she's being evicted from her apartment. She's in a really bad way. I don't know whether she's married or whether she has children or not, or whether she's just going in alone. She's now in her 40s. So this is a tough road. She has a GoFundMe page. Now, I'm not asking you to donate, but if you see it in your heart and you have a few extra dollars, I do believe what Dee is saying. Maybe I believe it because she's a woman, you know, a woman who was on her way to being what could have been a great journalist, and she could have survived even in these times right now. I didn't know her, but I knew of her. I don't think I ever even met Dee Barnes, but, you know, we were all in the thick of things together at that particular time. So she got this GoFundMe page, but she was only asking for $5,000. Now I say only because that's a very specific amount. You know, $5,000, that's not even first, last, and security. You know, $5,000, it would seem to me if you're gonna have a GoFundMe page that you would not put an amount on it. Once you say you're about to be homeless and if people know who you are, then you just start donating. But she's already up to $13,000. Yeah. It's got to be very humiliating. You really have to put your pride aside to make this such a public announcement. You know, GoFundMe page. You know, Dee, I have never met you. I would love to have you here to be a real life hot topic. And then you come out and you talk, and we don't have much money here at Wendy, but I think that I can scrape something together for your GoFundMe page as well. And try as I might, I can't remember the content of the interview, which did end up getting published. By the way, this is another story that's being covered by the New York Times. Just saying, Times, what happened? Yeah, you know, it's got to be pretty bad. I don't remember the content of the article, but you know, what kind of man beats a woman? And what kind of men stand around and see this happen and not break it up? And the party just continued. They got Dee out of there and everybody continued their boogie down. All right, moving along. The trailer for Martha Stewart and Snoop's cooking show is out. I know, I love it too. That's some good TV. It's good TV, it's fun, you know what I mean? So Martha and Snoop, they got this show. If you haven't watched it, you are missing some easy fun. Even if you don't cook, just watching them cook. All right, anyway, take a look at this.
I'm fine. Martha, I'm fine.
That's good, right? Yeah. Hey, listen, we've got more great show for you today. I've never met these people, but they're here. Waka Flocka and Tammy Rivera. But up next, it's time for Celebrity Lookalikes. So grab a snack and come on back.